How are you?
Good. We'll see when it's over.
She's coming back and we'll have a
257.2.
Not too bad.
Whatever healthy thing you have in your house, right? And say you blow it for the whole rest of the day. At least you did something good that morning, right? Your breakfast isn't that exciting. I mean, wouldn't you rather blow it on a different meal that day? I mean, just choke down your healthy breakfast. I promise you, it makes a world of difference. How many of you have even noticed maybe on the weekends when you sleep a little later and you maybe skip breakfast, you almost feel lousy, don't you? It's kind of like nagging in the back of your head. You're almost like, oh my God, is my metabolism working yet? It's that serious. And remember, I won't be your friend. 75% weigh themselves at least once a week. Truly, this is a tough one because I know people have a lot of problems with getting on that scale, and it's, a whole psychological issue right there. I really think you've got to weigh yourself every day. I just think it's one of those things you do every single morning. Weight creeps out of control very quickly. It's crazy, especially females too with our hormones, how quickly we can gain a lot of water weight, lose a lot of water weight, but you've got to be on target with it. So all of a sudden you get on that scale tomorrow, you're 2 pounds heavier, you're getting that light bulb moment. This is not who I want to be, right? So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Maybe I'll even work out a little harder. Maybe I'm really going to be so diligent on my diet that day. 62% of these people watch less than 10 hours of TV per week. Is this a problem for you? This is just one of those things. You've got to kind of see what the stressors in your life are. My parents are on edge 24/7 with the news on. I'm like, why do you stress yourself out having CNN on or, MSNBC? I'm like, this is making your life miserable. Just stop watching the news. Yes, if you got to kind of see those triggers. 90% of these people exercise on average 1 hour per day. And the good news is they're only walking. Y'all are doing way more than just walking. So you really got to keep this up 1 hour every single day of the week. I don't care if the government tells you get to take, Sundays off or whatnot. You are moving. Right, improvements you can't see, walk by faith, not by sight. Every pound you lose, you can lower your blood pressure 1 point. Blood pressure is some serious business. And Tony even mentioned that too. There's a reason why we call it the silent killer. Because people just don't realize how their blood pressure is creeping up. Because you can't really feel what's happening inside of you, right? You've got to get your blood pressure under control. You can also, for every pound lost, decrease your risk of getting diabetes by 8%, so that's huge too. Usually losing about 10 pounds does get most people off of their blood pressure medications. So this is a huge red flag too. Most of you have lost a great deal of weight in this program. You need to go back to your physician and make sure you're getting your medications regulated and to see if maybe it's time to either lower the dosage or get off of them completely. No more joint pain. How many of you are feeling much better in your joints?
How many are you feeling much worse in your joints?
Still be so sore from your workouts, but I promise you, over the long haul, this is going to start feeling so much better. Just losing 15 pounds cuts joint pain in half, and halves your risk of developing full-blown arthritis. All of these resistance training that you did help rebuild the cartilage and cushion your knee joints. Okay. What was that? All right, what still needs to be done to be successful? You've got to keep a food log. I know y'all despise the food logs. The good news is by now, can't you almost eyeball almost anything that you regularly eat and you know the calories and protein, right? So do I need you to be like super crazy spark people, or whatnot? You've got to find out what works for you. Almost everybody in here has smartphones. There's so many easy programs out there if you don't have a smartphone. I mean, you can just put it down. You can email yourself every single day. You just got to do something that makes sure you're tracking
You're not alone. Stephanie over here too.
How many of you eat so much better when you do right now?
Stephanie with you.
Huh? So what can we try to maybe do different? Imagine that. Balance. Okay, so again, what is the serving size for wine for, say, meat? Like 4 to 5 ounces. What about for a man? You get double that. What's the serving size for a beer?
12
12
ounces.
ounces. What about for a liquor drink?
1.5.
It's about 1.
Oh.
It damages your brain ever so slightly, reducing your cognitive functioning. This is why, you don't really notice a big difference, but all of a sudden you maybe talk to your
That's
grandparents
not
or
true.
something.
It is 1.5. I don't think she knows she
Drinking a
talking
lot.
about.
You
Because
know
South
this.
Carolina used to sneak and do 1.7.
Okay, so what are we going to do different this week? I think you've really got to think outside the box. Just try something new just for 1 week. The final week, maybe try something new like going vegetarian. Who thinks they could do it?
It worked for me.
Who thinks maybe they could try doing a raw diet or a vegan diet or what else? What's been something really hard that you've not been able to give up?
No raw food.
Maybe
You can't eat.
Absolutely.
No.
We kind of talk about avoiding holiday weight gain. That's a huge problem. How much weight does the average person gain over the holidays? From about
8 pounds.
New Year's to, from Thanksgiving, I even say Halloween to New Year's. How much
8
weight
pounds.
does it gain? I would say about 10 pounds. It can easily spiral out of control. The other time of the year that also makes me nervous is summertime. Why? Just seems
Barbecues.
light out until after 9 p.m. We get the munchies all afternoon going. We go to a lot of parties. We hang out at the beach. We eat foods that we shouldn't be eating. We drink a lot of alcohol in the summer.
Alhambra.
So these are kind of my tips for avoiding summer weight gain.
You going to the
Right,
cocktail
so
party?
vacations. Janice always says this too, and I think this is great. Every single vacation you take should have some sort of physical challenge attached to it. Have you ever thought about that? So who's going on vacation this summer? Where are you going?
Going to Italy.
Okay, so what would her physical challenge be in Italy?
Walk the Spanish steps.
Okay, walk the Spanish steps.
We're going up the Mount Gianna, it's 400 steps.
Okay, 400 steps. So you've already thought this out. What can I do physically in Italy? The nice thing about Italy is you can walk everywhere, and you will. What would be the red flags going off in my head about Italy?
No pasta.
Lots of carbohydrates, lots of really great wine, lots of tomato. Yeah. So Italy, you could easily get out of control in Italy. But truly, I almost think too, you can really get a good handle on your diet in Italy too. The nice thing about Italy is what? The portion sizes are actually pretty small, aren't they? So where do you run into problem when you're ordering lots of different little things? So if she truly knows that the portion sizes are small, should she not try all of these great carbohydrate dishes? She's going to Italy. She's going to one of the best food capitals in the world. Of course she should try these foods, but she needs to keep these portions small. She needs to make sure she's got plenty of physical activity that day. And I would definitely, if I'm going to eat that carbohydrate, sorry, but that's it. No negotiations, no give, no excuses. 6 days serious exercise until you die. Exercise is magic. It gives you the strength, the optimism, and the flexibility to do the rest of your life. And I hope most of you have now realized how much nicer you almost are. How many of you really notice your mood changes on the days you exercise?
Well, I didn't notice, but I was told I'm nicer now.
You're nicer feeling.
Okay, so for the top 10 males and females, I'm going to start with the males. By first place, Stephanie Pierce.
Sally
8th place, Amy Tokmacchi. 7th place, Emily Jubin. 6th place, June Bradham. 5th place, Lori Ubelair. 4th place, Leslie Thrasher.
Oh, I went up.
3rd place, Cnortorious Coleman. 2nd place, Mary Pat Roach. And 1st place, Denise Kimbrough. All right, the females by percentage of weight loss. In 10th place, Patty Crothers. 9th place, Denise Bowles. 8th place, Jessica McCoy. 7th place, Stephanie Pierce. 6th place, Denise Kimbrough. 5th place, Emily Jubin. 4th place, Cnortorious Coleman. 3rd place, June Bradham. 2nd place, Caroline McAleer. And in first place, Mary Pat Roach.
Teams. Da, 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 da. You guys ready?
We have.
Alright, and
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm sure we have. I'm gonna tell you. Come on, my head hurting. Come on.
Mom plays in dermatology. 10th place, Culinary Institute. 9th place, Center for Therapeutic Massage. 8th place, Moss Construction. 7th place, Jody
Better
Banks.
have at least.
6th place, Wycliffe Triangle. 5th place, CCPRC. 4th place, River Dogs. And now your top three teams. That's left over. Lucy Mortgage, Colonial Chemicals, and Charleston Spa. So, what do you guys think?
I debated on whether or not to put these pictures in here, but I wanted to give you a pictorial recipe. So I started off with onions and bell peppers, and then I went on to add the beefless ground beef that I got from Trader Joe's, and I used this along with a cup of pasta sauce, any sauce. I used, I think, the Prego all natural one, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. It's just like you're making a spaghetti base. And so that's what I did here. And then I took those wontons that I had left over from the black bean recipe, and I put them in my muffin pan and lined them with that. And once my mixture was done cooking, I started to fill that mixture inside of those wonton wrappers, and then I placed a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top. So once I was done with that layer, I added another wonton on top, and then repeated those layers with the meat mixture and mozzarella cheese on top. So once they were all done and they look like that, I placed them in a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, and I let the cheese melt on top. And this is what they look like when they were all done. After they were done, I pulled them out and I ate 2 for a serving, and I think they were about 300 calories, and I topped them with a little bit of Greek yogurt, which tastes like sour cream to me. Gave myself some veggies on the side, and that was that. For that week, I was craving carrots like crazy, so I found myself eating like a 2-pound bag of it. And this is what my body looks like now. I think it's coming down quite well. So thank you guys for watching, and for those who have been asking.